Today is October 21st. It's 4 p.m. Please call. I
don't think
Microphones are not.
See if you can. Okay. Closer. It isn't? Can you start?
It's not working.
Turn on the mic. No, that's it's not us. It's an IT problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah. Hello? Yes, now it's working. All right. Good afternoon. Today is October 21st, and it's 4 p.m. Can you please call the roll?
Chairperson Wani Garza,
Here.
Vice Chair Ted Masiacos,
Present.
Alderman John Lash,
Present.
Alderman Brandon Tolliver,
Here.
Alderman Daniel Barreiro, 4 present.
All right. Our first item is approval of the minutes for 24-0757 for the meeting held on October 7.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Alderman Tolliver, second Alderman Lash. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 4-0. Public comments?
No, we do not.
We don't have it, okay. All right, the first item on the agenda is 24-0730, a resolution authorizing the execution of Phase 3 Construction Engineering Services contract with HR Green, Inc. to the not to exceed amount of $1,924,344.00 from the Fransburg Builder Church roadway widening, resurfacing, and intersection improvements. Hello.
Brian Wachowski with the Engineering Department, here for this item and the next item. They're intricately related. Essentially, this is the public roadway improvement, widening, intersection improvement, utility relocation for the consultant services with HR Green. This is the ultimate build-out of Farnsworth and Bilter through this section. HR Green was selected after a competitively bid request for qualifications. They were part of the Phase 1 and the Phase 2 engineering on this project and have been a great partner with us so far, and they were selected again as part of the Phase 3. This amount is within a normal percentage of the construction cost, and staff recommends approval of this contract. Is there any
Okay.
questions?
Comments, questions? Yes, Jen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think the big question is what is going to be the public awareness? What are we going to do to inform the public about what's going on here? I know there's a lot of interest from residents in Ward 1 about these road improvements. I know that members of engineering and senior city staff have attended many neighborhood meetings, but I just want to know what that public rollout's going to look like.
Yeah, so we had a public meeting for this already in the previous year, where we kind of explained to them generally what the project was going to be. We have been in discussions constantly with property owners that live on the project area that we were trying to acquire right away or easements from. Typically, there is a construction project website that the consultant will maintain, and then there is daily. Do you want to?
Maybe pull your microphone a little closer.
Sorry. And typically they will have people, HR Green will have people on site every day, able to contact with the public, always giving out their business card, obviously contact information on the website, and we maintain our own website that shows construction updates, so that any citizen in Aurora can go to the website at any time and see what construction is going on in the area and who to contact about it.
But is there going to be a public meeting held out there to better inform the residents?
We do not have any additional public meetings planned, but obviously they're going to be there on site and have the website that people can contact them and really ask any questions or if they have any issues.
Okay, and then this might go a little bit into the next agenda item, but what is our timeline on this?
So it's more so for the next item, but we have a interim completion date of next Thanksgiving for all of the improvements in the vicinity of the casino and the outlet mall area. south on Farnsworth from Bilter to be completed, to try and limit the impact to Black Friday shopping as much as possible. We all know this is a terrible traffic area around that time of year, which is coming up soon. And so we're trying to minimize that impact as much as possible.
So pretty much April to November, they're going to be working south of Bilter. And then the Bilter section, what's that look like? Or is it all going to try and do it all at once?
We're going to try and get it all done as soon as possible. The next completion date would be mid-2026, where that is the time where we're trying to have substantial completion of the entire project done at that time. But we're still, like it says in here, based on budget, we are planning to truncate the limits of this project in order to meet those goals.
Okay, and then what you're saying is hopefully we'll have all the cones off the road. What about that right turn into the outlet mall? Is that going to be ready by November of 25?
Off of
do you
Bilter?
think? Yeah. No, I think aren't we taking a separate lane off the interstate?
Oh, yeah.
Right into the outlet mall? Will that?
Yes, that would be the November date, by next Thanksgiving, 2025 Thanksgiving. That and
We're hoping to have
we're
that
getting a
done by.
completion date for that. Yes.
Okay. I might save my other questions for the next agenda item and let somebody else.
Madam Chairman, if I may,
Yes.
just to answer further for the Alderman, it's Alex Alexandru, Chief Management Officer. So Alderman, in addition to what Brian was saying, we are going to have the regular traffic updates and notices through the city website and the project-specific site for the casino. That being said, as the project develops from a traffic and construction standpoint, we will be putting out social media posts, advisories, putting it out on the Aurora, through the Aurora app. So there will be a lot of communication. We're not going to have public per se meetings to what Brian's saying like we've had, but we certainly will continue. I think you said earlier, we'll continue to have staff come to ward meetings and other neighborhood group meetings as requested and required. So we're not going to shut down any communication. In fact, we're probably going to increase the communication to the area as the project develops.
When I worked as a consultant, when I worked on projects like this is the most important part of any construction project, is communicating with the public and being available to them. That was always a major goal of mine whenever I was running projects like this, and I know that HR Green has that same goal.
Yes.
Madam Chair, thank you. Mr. Alexander, I'm glad you came up and added some more information about where we reach out to the community. Mr. Martinez right now, I know he's still working on this pressing website development, new website development process. There's other government agencies already or entities that have started posting things online at their webpage. So residents can go and see time lapses or updates on what's going on. Is that going to be part of that process here with this project?
Are you talking about time lapse for the casino or the road project or both?
Both. How's that?
Yes, and in fact, I know that Tony's group has already done time lapse, and I think they're going to coordinate with HR Green and engineering to do that for the construction.
Yeah, we'll have our own website hosted by HR Green for the project. Time lapse on a roadway is not as fun as a building or anything.
No,
else
but I mean, it's just our projects, it just doesn't matter if it's a road project or, an addition or whatnot.
And there'll be changeable message boards also within the project limits, so that people driving by can find that website.
Right, but it helps to be able to steer residents into that, say our webpage and say, here,
Absolutely.
we can go in there and maybe post something as well here, latest
Yeah,
and greatest. And I'm not trying to point a finger at you, I'm just looking at policy-wise, moving forward, because I know it's been.
That's going to be the policy.
All right, thank you.
It's already been established.
And it will be part of that new webpage.
Yes.
It's coming, all right, thank you so much.
More questions, more comments for that item?
Just to clarify then, so H&R Green's going to have a site and we're going to have a site? Or we're going to have the similar information?
We have a site where we kind of post all construction update items and traffic throughout the city.
And usually timelines and so forth, so.
And they will have their own website specifically for this project.
Thank you.
And I think there'll be links on both.
Yeah.
So regardless of where you go, you can follow and link into information.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Alderman Lash, second Alderman Tolliver. All in favor say aye. Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. Next item is 24-0739, a resolution to award a contract with the R.W. Donovan Company to the bid amount $19,523,900 for the Farnsworth-Bilter Shores Roadway Improvements Project.
Hi, Brian Witkowski with Engineering Department again. Similar project. This is the actual construction of the roadway project. So the lowest responsible bidder was R.W. Donovan in the amount of the $19,500,000. This was higher than we had anticipated. And so in order to mitigate those cost increases, we are planning to truncate the limits of the project or do certain sections of the project at a later date is the current plan. So currently, the plan for phasing this project would be the northern leg of Farnsworth-Bilter intersection is going to be kind of cut off right by Farnsworth, or right by Thornton's. And then the eastern leg is going to be kind of cut off at the eastern edge of the Thornton's project. And then that next section of Bilter would be done at a later time because we already have plans in place for the eastern section of Bilter that was not included in the limits of this. So the plan would be to construct those to have the ultimate build out of Bilter be done all at the same time. I don't know if you want any of the other details. There was a local bidder that responded to this, but they were not within $100,000 of the lowest bidder. Additionally, it was a pretty competitive bid. There was 2 bidders within $300,000 of the low bidder, and on a $19.5 million project, that's pretty good. So we think we got a relatively good price, even though it was higher than we had anticipated at the time.
Questions, comments? John?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going back, so there's no map in this agenda item, so I'm going back to the previous agenda item to look at the map.
I apologize for that.
Is that an accurate, you said that it got truncated. Does the map in the previous agenda item match what we're paying for? Or is it truncated beyond the map that we have?
I don't have the map. I apologize. I don't have the map in front of me. That was, I think the map in front of you was the entire project that was competitively bid.
Okay, so what we see on the map is
The full.
what we didn't talk about in the phase 2 section of this. It's what we're getting for $20 million.
If we were gonna build the entire project and spend all of the $19.5 million, that is the map that was attached.
Got it. Okay, thank you. And then what are we doing to pursue federal, state assistance with this
Yeah,
whole,
we already,
whole effort?
for the eastern section of Bilter, we already have $2.5 million of federal funds for that section, which is the maximum that they would be able to award. And then we will be pursuing the same $2.5 million federal funding award for the western section of Bilter Road. So it would be from Premium Outlets Boulevard to the eastern edge of Thornton's gas station.
If I may, Chris Minnick, Chief Financial Officer. Alderman, that is one of the reasons that the project was truncated, was to maximize the draw for federal grants or the potential for federal grant funding for the entire 20 million project. And I did look at the map. The map does contemplate the entire project. It does not reflect the truncated limits.
Okay, and then, so you're saying the map, is what he said accurate? Let me just ask that question.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we see in the map is what we're paying for.
So we're awarding it based on
Right.
what was competitively bid, and
Okay.
then we will work with the Phase 3 consultant and the Phase 2 consultant, who is the same consultant, to modify the plans to truncate them at the edges where the budget makes sense.
And is there any effort to go after the Illinois Tollway funds from the Illinois Tollway Authority on the section that goes into the outlet mall?
Not that I'm aware of, but
So-
I'm sorry.
Say,
Go ahead.
we are working with the tollway, so they are in the middle of doing plans to update the toll booths on all of the exit ramps in this area. And so we have sent them our plans, they have approved them. We are working with them to have a second lane open exiting the tollway here to northbound Farnsworth, but they are on their own timeline for that. We will build the pavement up to that section that will accommodate it and then just stripe it out. And then when they come through and construct it and open up that second lane, it will just be a matter of striping it appropriately at that time.
I guess my only other thought on this is since we're not having a public meeting, maybe for the Cal meeting, we could pop the map up and go over it in pretty good detail as well as throw some timelines just so the public can see it in a format. I personally feel like another meeting out in that section would probably be something residents would be interested in, but if that's not the plan, then at a minimum, hopefully we can do something a little bit better at Cal.
Yes?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Witkowski, thank you so much for taking my call recently, and you said that my question will be better answered by our CFO, which I'm glad to see you popped in real quick. If you could just give me an update real quick on what's written here. Improvements will be paid for through GO bonds, developer contribution, and interest earnings from GO bond proceeds. Can you explain that a little bit more,
Sure.
please?
Yeah, we have a redevelopment agreement with the casino. The tenants or terms of that agreement call for them to make a $2 million contribution to roadway improvements. So that will be part of the funding mix that will be utilized to achieve these improvements. Secondly, you do see a notation that we have bond funds currently on hand in the amount of $6,600,000 to be able to utilize that funding during 2024. Because of the phasing of this particular project, we will anticipate that we will have some additional borrowing coming up during 2025 to accomplish the remainder of the funding. But then the interest on the GO bond proceeds, as you may recall, the terms of the redevelopment agreement also called for the city to issue a bond for the casino project generally, and to put an advance funding contribution in there that would be repaid by the casino with their property taxes and their tax increment generated over time. We did complete that bond issue in, I want to say, late February or early March. Due to the timetable of the casino and how that's proceeded, we have had some significant interest earnings on that $50 million. We have not dispersed any of it yet. So we're going to utilize those interest earnings, or it would be my recommendation that we utilize those interest earnings to help offset some of the costs
Okay.
of these roadway improvements.
Because that's my question was about interest earnings. So,
Yeah.
All right. So
If memory serves, it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2 to 2.5 million, I believe.
when it's all said and done,
Yes.
we're only utilizing though a smaller amount at this point, which is 480.
That is actually some budgetary funds that were identified within the capital projects fund for this particular expense. And for the project, that doesn't have anything to do with the funding sources. The funding sources, right now, I anticipate that we would have about $2 million on hand.
And how much are we taking out of that for this again? You just mentioned
Approximately 2.5 million.
2.5 million.
Yes, to help offset the
So
cost.
there's another $500,000 that's going to be forthcoming.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes?
So you're talking about 2 to 2.5 million in interest, but aren't we also paying interest on the bonds that we took? So
We
what
are.
you're saying that because it's not being dispersed, it's sitting there earning interest
Correct.
at a higher rate than what we're paying out.
Well, once we issued the bonds, the bond timetable was actually called out in the redevelopment
Right.
agreement. We had a certain amount of days, number of days, after several conditions were met, to issue the bonds. We fulfilled our obligation. We issued the bonds. And once that happened, that amortization schedule was set. So the money that we're getting in interest earnings is over and above, let me say it this way. We would have had to pay the debt service schedule on the bonds regardless of whether we earned any interest or we didn't earn any interest. Since we have had the interest earnings, would be, as I said, my recommendation to utilize those to help offset the cost of this particular improvement.
So I guess when do we plan to disperse the $50 million bond?
There are, well, as you may
Because
recall,
we
there
can
are.
gain interest on it
Yeah,
until we
there-
disperse it, right?
Yes,
So-
there are certain timetables or certain milestones that as the project progresses, that we need to disperse those funds within certain time limits after we certify that those milestones have indeed been met. So as we get those notifications from the development group that those milestones are being met, we'll have our team certify it, and then we'll disperse the funds in accordance with the redevelopment agreement.
What are those, like 25, 50% completion, 75 and 100?
There's something about when they get permits for the entire development, there's approval of drawings for the entire, there's 7 or 8
Got it, okay.
conditions listed, and I apologize. I
The
don't know them
timeline,
off the
I
top of my
understand.
head.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still probably will disperse it within 2 years, so we're not going to be accruing a lot of interest off that, just a little bit at the beginning.
Well, anything we get certainly helps.
Sure,
So,
no,
I-
yeah, I
yeah.
don't-
So I would.
I
ra-
appreciate the approach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
okay. Motion passed by Alderman Tolliver, second Alderman John Lash. All in favor, say aye. Motion passed 4-0. Next item in the agenda is 24-0775, resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to provide funding to Leopardo Construction of Homan Estates, Illinois, and the amount of $11,488,361 for the complete warranty maximum price, scope not including soft costs with 5% contingency for construction and new fire station number 9.
Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Kaufman, Assistant Fire Chief, Aurora Fire Department. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown where we're at in our fire station process. In 2021, the Aurora Fire Department hired a consultant to conduct a fire station analysis in order to establish optimal locations for the additional fire station that needed to be built, as well as a relocation of 2 other fire stations within the city. The study determined that it would be in the best interest of the fire department as well as the public to build a new Station 13, as well as relocate stations number 4 and station number 9. Fire station number 9 will be located on Eola Road, north of New York and south of Liberty Street, the west side of the street there. Following council approval, a capital improvement plan was submitted and approved. Leopardo was approved as the construction manager for the station projects in August of this year. And since then, Leopardo has moved forward and published bid package number 1, which contained 22 bid items each for fire stations 9 and 13 that attracted a total of 199 bids. That bid package consumes approximately 80% of the entire project. The second bid package will be published in early 2025 and will cover the remaining 20% approximately of the project. Leopardo is following the city's local preference ordinance and reaching out to MWBE vendors for participation, and we will receive a recap of packages that show MWBE participation, local vendor awarded bids, as well as local vendors awarded bids due to the local preference ordinance. Leopardo has been working with FGM Architects and has calculated a guaranteed maximum price of $11,488,361 for station number 9. When we talk about the GMP, it includes the construction manager fees, pre-construction services, allowances for weather, soils, material testing, and a 3% contingency. GMP does not include soft costs such as furniture, fixtures, IT, ComEd and Nightcore services, or the city's request for a 5% contingency, which is a number of $546,752.40. This resolution will allow Leopardo Construction to begin to execute contracts that have been selected via the bidding process and move forward on a groundbreaking to occur somewhere between November 27th and December 11th of this year. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have to the best of my ability.
Comments, questions? Yes?
I guess I'll just ask broadly on both this agenda item and the next. What are the energy efficiency standards of these buildings? There's not too much detail in here.
Yeah, I think it would be better suited for probably Leopardo to come up here, or FGM, to get into the technicals of that. And if that's something we need to cross, I can definitely bring them to COW, and we can hash that out. I probably couldn't stand here and give you every little thing, item that they've crossed paths with.
Okay, I'll be asking the question again at Cal, so if you can find a way to track that answer down, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's no problem. I can bring people who are more specialized in that field.
Other questions? No?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion approved by Alderman Tolliver, second Alderman John Lash. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. Okay, next item is 24-0776, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to provide funding to Leopardo Construction of Homan State, Illinois, and the amount of $12,813,326 for the complete warranty maximum price GMP scope, not including soft costs, with 5% contingency for construction at a new fire station number 13.
All right, all items will remain the same for this particular one, other than obviously Fire Station 13 is going to be the new fire station that's located at the corner of Bilter and Nan. It's going to house Medic 13, which is currently running out of Station 9. It's going to house Truck 14, which is our newest ladder truck that just went in service, which is also running out of Station 9 currently. It'll also house another engine company, Engine 13, that will go into service right after that fire station opens up. The guaranteed maximum price of Station 13 is $12,813,326. The 5% contingency falls at $609,810. The groundbreaking on this project is scheduled for November 13th. Any questions?
November 13? November?
November 13th, yes,
13,
ma'am.
yes. So this will want to be unbuilt in which other?
Bilter and
in the
Nan
corner?
is the cross. Nan?
No, Nan, okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Questions, comments? Yes, John?
I guess just as a broad question for finance on this agenda in the last three, are these in the 2025 budget? I would assume they are, but.
Chris Minnick, Chief Financial Officer again. Yes, they are, Alderman.
Thank you. No further questions.
Other
Madam Chair.
questions, comments?
Yeah, real
Yes.
quick, because our memories aren't always the greatest, we go through a lot of information here. Can you talk to our chief of staff in the Alderman's office, coordinate those dates for the groundbreaking? Sometimes they come a little quick through our communications department, meaning they just come a day or two before and it's hard to schedule. So if you could provide us that little courtesy, it'd be fantastic. Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Absolutely.
Jolene Coulter, Director of Purchasing, we've already reached out to your Chief of Staff, so he's working on that right now, so.
Great. Okay. No more
So moved.
questions? Okay, motion by Alderman Lash.
Second.
Second Alderman Tolliver. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 4-0. Okay, no other items in this agenda?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by John Lash.
Second.
Second Alderman Tolliver. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion adjourned at 4:30 p.m. Thank you so much.